What's up, everybody? I'm Lance, founder of Waterloo Turf, alongside Timmy, CEO of Waterloo Turf, and today we're going to answer some of the most Googled artificial turf questions. So we've actually got a handful of them in this Waterloo Turf hat right here. And Timmy, how about you go ahead and do the honor of starting us off?
Let's start off. Does artificial turf cause cancer? This is a great question, actually. And so I would say about 20 to 25 years ago, there was a belief that the crumb rubber infill that was used within regulation sports fields for artificial turf could be a cause of cancer. And so since then, the industry actually moved away from using crumb rubber as the infill and started using silica sand as the infill, which is it's antimicrobial, it's completely kid-friendly, completely pet-friendly. But during this time, the state of California actually did I think it was a 15 to 20 year study on if crumb rubber infill was a cause of cancer. And they actually just released their results earlier in 2025, which said that you actually have less than 1 in 1 million greater chance of getting cancer if you were exposed to crumb rubber infill. So we can conclusively say that no, artificial turf does not cause cancer. You're up.
All right. Can turf be cleaned? Great question. It can be. It can actually be cleaned by the Waterloo Turf Fresh and Clean Maintenance Program, where we can come out and clean off all the debris of your turf. We'll refluff, repower broom your turf up. We can drop more infill in it, whether it's silica sand, antimicrobial, cooling infill, and then power broom it one more time to really push that infill into the turf. Flip your blades up, and then the last step of our turf cleaning is when we use what's called our Dillo deodorizer. And so it's actually a spray-on that we go over the turf with, and it kills off any bacteria, any germs, anything that's harmful on there, and it'll break it down and then make sure your turf is nice and clean, pet-friendly, kid-friendly. And it also smells amazing. So turf can be cleaned. I do believe turf for a long time has been sold as a no maintenance option. I don't believe it's no maintenance. I believe it's low maintenance compared to, sod or any other landscaping. But for your turf to perform and look as good as it did on day one throughout its lifetime, it does need a little bit of TLC. And so that's where the Fresh and Clean Turf Maintenance Program can come into play.
If you want your artificial turf cleaned by Waterloo Turf, click the link in the comments below and we'll get your turf freshened up. What's next? Can my dog pee on artificial turf? Another great question. Yes, your dog can relieve itself on artificial turf. And so all turf is pet friendly. So if you're a homeowner and you have a dog, just know that the way that we install artificial turf at Waterloo Turf makes all of our turf projects extremely turf friendly. And also, if you are a dog daycare or you're responsible for a dog park and there is a little bit more foot traffic for animals, we do have pet specific turf that will help with the increased dogs lifting their legs on the turf.
Yeah, and again, we can include that pet deodorizing infill in it and then layer it up with a fresh and clean maintenance plan. It will make sure your turf smells good, performs good, looks good, and definitely is, kid and pet friendly. Next question, can turf catch on fire? No, it can't. Turf is actually fire retardant. So you have no worries, no fears of your yard catching on fire. A lot of our clients will actually have fireplaces or solo stoves, things like that, built in to their project spaces. It just makes for a really good aesthetic hangout spot. And also, again, no worries of fire.
One of the things that I've heard about on that, and this is pretty recent, is that if you live in a state that is prone to wildfires, insurance adjusters are actually going to look and see if you have artificial turf in your front and backyard when they're determining your risk.
Interesting. That's cool. Next question.
All right, what's next? Does turf grow? No.
That's crazy. Somebody actually asked that.
Top Google search.
Can synthetic turf grow?
No.
It can't. Believe it or not, it doesn't grow. It just looks green all the time.
I had 2 good questions and 1 bad question.
All right, next. Last question. Can turf get wet? It can get wet. So if it rains, it'll be wet.
So I think a question that probably people are getting at is, does turf drain? Like when I put turf down, will it drain when it rains or?
Yeah. So that's a great question.
Thank you.
Built off of that other great question. So turf does drain. A lot of it has to do, there's two things that go into a high quality turf install. One is the base prep, it's the foundation. The second is the seaming, but we'll talk about the base prep and foundation. When the base prep is being taken care of and completed, it needs to be graded properly and compacted well to make sure that all the drainage and runoff goes to where it needs to go. The turf product is also important with that. Again, some products drain at 30 inches an hour. There's also products that drain at 1,000 inches per hour, but either way, drainage is happening. So it really comes down to how good is the base compaction? That's the foundation. And then is it graded where it needs to be graded to? So yeah.
So those are your Google questions answered on artificial turf. If you like this content and you like artificial turf, you like seeing before and afters, and you like to see Lance and I riff about turf, hit the like and subscribe button below and follow along with Waterloo Turf.